Hi guys, it's Dexter. It's a brand new video. In this video, what I thought to be a curse was actually a blessing. So I'll tell you how this came true. So I was watching Squid Game with my parents on a Sunday night. Me and my father already watched the entire Squid Game. My mother didn't, so we were watching it for the second time with my mom. And then my mom got a email from the principal of the school and said that I'm on quarantine because the person that sits next to me got COVID. I was depressed, sad, like, why me out of all people to get this? But we didn't know if I really had COVID or not. So then I proceeded to go to bed, and in the morning we did a COVID test. And I came back negative, but this was only 5 days after the latest exposure. And usually, okay, I'm going to be starting a series called, Learning COVID with Dexter. It's kind of like Learning with Dexter, just a bunch of dumb stuff. And just a quick fun fact. Let's say you had a potential exposure and you get COVID but you don't know. You go to the testing and it says negative. You know why? Because if you test one day, one day after the exposure, it's gonna say negative, basically almost 100% chance negative. Because what happens if the virus enters your body? It takes time for it to mutate, infect get cells, make more cells than infects. And after the infection is spread enough, then it can be noticed on the radar of the COVID test. So if you were testing for COVID one day after the exposure, maybe wait a bit longer. Yeah. So we still honestly, it's usually around 2 to 5 days. But I really still, 5 days later, Delta usually is like 2 to 5 days. We still didn't know 100% if I had COVID or not. It was negative so far. And then on Thursday, this entire curse just changed. Because there was an outbreak at the school. Because it turned out the kid who sat next to me didn't infect me, but he infected another kid. And then me and that kid went on, online. But during Thursday, the kids that were in the class, that kid spread it to another kid and another kid. So a bunch of kids caught COVID. If I have in my calculations, and they have to be correct. 45% of the entire kids in the class got COVID, aka 9 out of 20. So they had to be quarantined and be online too. So on Thursday, I wasn't really feeling that left out because at least I had some kind of buddies for 5 minutes until we left to do our own thing. Yeah, because online, we join at 9:30. After literally 5 minutes, teacher says, do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And then just leave us on our own to figure out the problems in math. Typical boy did. At least I knew that I wasn't alone in the whole quarantine virtual thing, which I was really sad about. But I realized there was an outbreak. And if I didn't get the quarantine on Sunday, I would have probably caught COVID. And the remaining kids in the class, it's possible they have COVID. Because all the remaining kids that didn't test positive, they did what I said. They waited one day and they all got negative, of course. So it's possible they could have COVID because all the kids that got sick with COVID, they all had the first vaccine shot. Well, every single kid that still remains at the class, they don't have the vaccine shot, not even one. Only one kid. I'm going to go by his username in Fortnite, Terminator, because I'm going to do a future video with him, probably. He's the only kid that has actually one vaccine shot in the entire class that remains. So it's really possible that they could, possibly catch COVID because, maybe they already have it. Honestly, I think it's really dumb that they're not all quarantined. Because, well, there's an outbreak, people got COVID. What do you think COVID's still not do? COVID's not like, oh, I infected all you guys. I'm magically gonna disappear from all your body. Yeah, no. That's not how it works. So, yeah, so what I realized on Thursday, if I didn't, like, what I saw was so depressing and so sad, actually turned out to be, like, one of the best things that happened. Because if I didn't get the quarantine, I would have caught COVID, and that would have been much worse. So what I learned from this, video was, if you guys having problems and you think you're having a really bad time, you think you have a curse, it may turn out for the better and actually be a blessing, which happened to me. So yeah, bye guys.